Hello, and welcome to yet another day of NGS action. Today, we're going to be having a doubleheader, but we're going to focus first on our first match, Division A Magnitude Epicenter versus Points Donation Squad. Now, this is going to be a very interesting matchup. This is going to be a pretty close game, too, because if we take a look at the standings real quick, they're right next to each other, 5th and 6th place, both at 13 points. They are neck and neck, though I believe Points Donation Squad has played one less match, so technically they are slightly ahead, but either way, this is a very close game. Either of these two teams could definitely come out the victors. Now, we've already had our map pick and bans, and the coin toss was won by Magnitude Epicenter. They went for a first pick. The Points Donation Squad, they banned out Battlefield of Eternity and Tomb of the Spider Queen, and Magnitude Epicenter banned away Volskaya Foundry and Brax's Holdout. And so finally, Points Donation Squad decided to go to Alterac Pass. Now, this is one of those maps. It is quite large, boss on either end, both on the north and on the south, with a pretty long and difficult objective to hold on to in between. It is something you have to give a lot of time towards. You have to be actively holding on to it. You cannot just stand on it. So it's definitely going to open up quite a bit in terms of the draft. It's going to open up quite a bit in terms of strategy. But now, like I said, today is going to be the double header. We're starting off with this match between Magnitude Epicenter and Points Donation Squad, but we're continuing with the Magnitude organization 2 hours after with Magnitude Aftershock versus Bunker Fun Time. Should be another pretty fun series. It is B West, but we'll talk about that matchup once we start heading towards it. Now, we already have most of the players in the lobby, just waiting on one more, and after that we should get started. But I think today especially, it's going to be really important to see which one of these two teams will be able to come out on top. Because right now it's Magnitude Epicenter have one less game, so they're technically the ones that are a little bit further ahead. But they're currently right in the middle of the standings. Whoever wins today will take 4th place temporarily, as Crit Kickers has only 5 total matches played compared to the 6 and 7 of Magnitude and Points Donation Squad. But it'll still definitely help them rise closer to that top. There's a pretty noticeable gap between the top 2 or 3 teams and the ones after that. And being able to win here, being able to close that gap and get closer to the top of the leaderboard of Division A, it's going to matter quite a bit. And I'm sure both of these two teams want to be the ones to get in that position. And like I said, with the drafts as well, we've seen quite a bit of interesting picks coming out from Magnitude Epicenter. I mean, Delta Sniper constantly having the Tassadar banned away from them. And I think for a map like this on Alterac Pass, having the kind of poke over the wall, having all those different options and opportunities to start out plays to kind of prevent anyone else from sorry, the players are being funny in chat. Wow, I completely forgot my train of thought, but looks like it's not going to matter. Both teams are ready. Both teams are getting started, and we should be heading into draft momentarily. All right, but here we are with the draft. Let's get the prediction running. Honestly, I kind of like how the prediction ends up working out, because there is that 30-second delay. If I remember to start it as we get into draft, everyone kind of knows we're going to be getting into that soon enough. But it is going to be Magnitude Epicenter versus Points Donation Squad on Alterac Pass. Now, with the first pick on the side of Magnitude Epicenter, I think they do have a little bit of an easier time in the draft, because there's a lot of heroes, stuff like Junkrat, Johanna, that are really good at just poking over the wall and preventing the objective from getting started. Anubrak, also one of those options, can actually poke decently far with the Impale, and is also very good at contesting onto these objectives. Super easy engage, and just a very powerful tank overall. So not surprised to see that get removed. As Vendrick, thank you very much for the gifted sub. Massive gift going over to Catwalk Tragedy. Once again, it should be... but yeah, here we are with the 26 subs now. New record for my channel, so I'm pretty happy with that. But Garrosh going to get banned away now by Points Donation Squad. Once again, both sides just kind of aiming towards the tanks. I'm a little bit surprised about that because I was expecting to see a bit more of those poke heroes getting removed. Any of those kind of... I wouldn't call them necessarily draft breakers, but the annoyances. Now, Zagara, not the one I was thinking of, but also would definitely fit with this regard. Able to kind of drop the roaches over top, able to drop them over the wall, and it's also really good in pushing situations. We've seen some pretty good success from Zagara in the past. I believe from this team as well, where they're just able to hold on to a lane and just push so hard with it. The move speed is so high. The DPS that they're able to deal to structures is so high, and it gets very difficult trying to play into it. As once again, we see the Tassadar respect ban against Delta Sniper. At this point, I'm used to it. I'll be honest. It's one of my lackings as a caster. I'm not really good at knowing who plays what, just because I cast so many different teams and games. It's pretty hard to remember. But Delta Sniper's Tassadar is one I will always have in my mind. It's been incredibly powerful. I've seen such massive shock rays coming out. I was surprised to see it removed. But Oriole going to get locked in instead. So they're going to have that pretty solid healer as their first pick. Now there's still some pretty solid tanks left in the pool. There's still going to be the Joanna. We see that on Alterac Pass a lot. I'm going to see Joanna a lot everywhere, but Alterac Pass specifically is a very common pick. And as it is going to be the Chromie and the Rhaegar coming in for Fading Cheshi and Saber Moon. So still not showing too much out of their draft plan. Chromie and Rhaegar, two of those heroes that just kind of work with everything. Not picking the Stukov does show that they're a little bit, but that's really not saying too much when it comes down to draft theory. But Magnitude Epicenter, now they're going to have to show a little bit more. Oriole does already show that they kind of want to have more of a death ball composition. Oriole's definitely a lot better with that. And it's actually going to be a Stitches composition. Okay. Sonya for MDC and Stitches for Bones. That should be pretty fun to watch. I mean, with the leap coming in from not from ADC, from MDC, going to be a very solid engage. And Stitches lacks a very solid team fight start. But because Stitches is able to hook someone away, it gives them opportunities to fight even without that hard engage. But either way, they have both options, and more options is always better for the draft. But Gul'dan going to get banned away by Points Donation Squad. Just don't want to deal with that one. I am a little bit surprised about that. I do think Gul'dan can be decent, is decently strong, but Alterac Pass... No, I guess with the Fell Flame and the Corruption, you could kind of chuck it over the wall. I guess I've never really thought about it. The cooldowns aren't super long for Gul'dan either. And once you do, if you do take that Fell Flame talent level 1, you do get that extra range. Should be enough to hit over the wall. As Dahaka going to be the final ban coming out of Magnitude Epicenter. But now what are you going to pick right now from Points Donation Squad? They do have a cleanse from Rhaegar, but because I already picked the healer, they can't really take an Anduin unless they want the double heals. And Anduin is typically the better response for Stitches, at least in terms of the healer role. There are still a few tanks they could choose. Once again, Joanna with the Iron Skin wouldn't be a terrible choice, but they're going to go with the Muradin instead for the Duke and Melthiel for Emsky. Now, I do like Malthiel here. Stitches and Sonya both are pretty beefy in terms of HP bars. Malthiel able to kind of chunk those down, just have that percentage damage. And once again, because Oriole kind of incentivizes teams to group onto the Oriole, it will incentivize the Malthiel to be able to deal quite a bit more damage and be a lot more self-sustaining during these team fights. The final two picks, Tychus and Kel'Thas, for Clownface and MacDaddio. So I really like the Tychus as well, because it's kind of a similar situation. Muradin has a lot of HP. Tychus is going to be powerful with the grenade as well, just dealing so much damage over the wall. And then the minigun is going to absolutely do wonders against Muradin. And Kelthus, again, pretty solid mage. There's no Brightwing. Once again, that's typically the better counter to Kelthus, but should still be fine overall. And then Zul'jin, the 10th and final pick for Points Donation Squad for the Duke. Now, once again, I do suspect this is going to be more of a caster Zul'jin. That seems to have been the meta ever since the last update to Zul'jin. But it's still pretty strong for auto attacks, and both Chromie and Zul'jin do deal enough frontline, just consistent DPS that should definitely work out for the draft. And I think this is just going to be one of those drafts. Do you land the hooks or do you not? And that's really all it's going to come down to as we head into game number 1. All right, and we are back in. Just loading in right now to Alterac Pass, where we will have the first game of Magnitude Epicenter versus Points Donation Squad. Now, winner of this game is definitely going to go up at least 2 rankings, going from 6th and 7th to 5th, whoever wins. Now, I believe Points Donation Squad is currently in 7th, so if they lose, they'll stay in 7th, but we'll have 1 less game in the season. But still, a possibility for them as well to move straight up to 5th. They do have the same games played, but Magnitude Epicenter, or same points, but Magnitude Epicenter have 1 less games played overall. And now it does seem like both teams are grouping towards mid lane, with the exception of MDC. It looks like they want to run straight down to the bot lane, but now both our teams are going to start meeting over in this mid lane. They're going to group together. But Magnitude Epicenter just playing a little bit safe, since they know they're only bringing 4 members here. Decided it's not worth trying to play forward. Now, as for the talents, it is going to be the Dragon's Breath build coming out of Fading Cheshi. So we'll definitely have a bit more backline poke, especially against targets that are trying to back away. But they do land the hook onto the Duke. Not going to be able to accomplish too much with it quite yet, as Jack Burden takes a decent chunk of damage from Clownface. But the Duke was just kind of freely autoing while they were aiming at Jack Burden, so I think Muradin is more than happy to trade stacks for that little bit of HP, especially because of the trait. We'll be able to just heal that back up. Now, MDC is getting hit by Jack Burden the hook. If that landed, I think Jack Burden would have been in a very sticky situation, but was fine, able to just back away. And with that, MDC is going to come back and start taking that siege camp. Both offlaners working on that. Emski going to be taken to 4 Points Donation Squad as well. And now on the top side is going to be Fading Cheshi and Clownface. Actually, quite a bit of damage dealt to Fading Cheshi. Will be forced to take that tap as Saber Moon getting poked down quite low by Mac Daddio. They don't have enough DPS to finish off the Rhaegar, but once again, will be forced to take the tap from the wall. Now, the Living Bomb should be able to deal quite a bit of damage to these teams later on in the game, but they do land the hook during the Dwarf Toss. Jack Burden just going to get caught out, and Magnitude Epicenter get the first blood, and that's the advantage of having the Stitches, and especially with the Dwarf Toss. If you catch them in the middle of the jump, it still goes on cooldown. There's no other way of escape. And with 4 members there, they have more than enough damage to just completely DPS through them. But in terms of levels, it hasn't accomplished too much in terms of level leads, I should say. But they are going to have the first push mid, looking for the hook for Fading Cheshi, but not going to land. But that's still something. They're still able to get a little bit of a lead, and it will start growing if they're able to continue with this kind of pressure. Now, MDC starting to get poked down pretty low by Emski. But on the meanwhile, in the spot side, Magnitude Epicenter, they're pushing very hard. They're going to finish off this top tower. But now Jack Burden trying to drop in, gets hooked once again, and with the Cyclone, we'll be able to just back away barely. 30 HP, Living Bomb, and the little stomp from Bones. Almost enough for the kill. But now, once again, the wave has hit the extra grenade coming in from Clownface. Demon Strike not going to land, but Dragon's Breath able to take down Clownface. All 3 land. So much damage coming in from Fading Cheshi, and that's the beauty of deep breathing. That's the beauty of the Dragon's Breath coming out from Chromie. If it's on a target that needs to back away, it's almost guaranteed to hit all 3 times, and it deals so much damage if you are able to land it. As Magneto just throws out the living bomb on the Duke. The point and click damage, very fun to play into. But again, it is a Zul'jin, doesn't care that much. We'll be able to just heal up. Now the camps have spawned, neither team really playing for them quite yet. And that's not really too surprising. Level 7 is on the horizon for both of them. I think whichever one goes first will definitely be in a bit of a worse spot, as MDC trading with Emski. But Jack Burden is starting to play for the objective. They are pinging them out. As level 7 is hit, and Fading Cheshi does get slapped into the back line. Hits by the Cyclone and will get finished off with the overkill. And another successful hook coming in from Bones. As Magnitude Epicenter 2-1 in terms of kill score. And now, again, they have the siege camp here. They have the numbers. Someone has to stay on Points Donation Squad to defend against this wave, so they can just walk forward and start contesting onto the camp. Now, they've already started the channel, currently at 25 seconds. All 5 members are back out for Points Donation Squad, but it will be a little bit before Fading Cheshi can get back here. Level 7 is there for both. Jack Burden just trying to buy a little bit of time. Just a little bit of trading going back and forth. MDC trying to fight. The Duke is pretty low in the backline, but will be able to heal back up. They're still trying to buy time, but Jack Burden is starting to get low. Flame Strike isn't going to land. The Cyclone does land only on Jack Burden, as Emski starting to get pretty low. Will get finished off, but traded for MDC. Jack Burden still standing strong. Chain healing is providing quite a bit of health. But Magnitude Epicenter, they're able to hold on. They're able to take the point. They're able to get the cavalry. And now Jack Burden is the one getting run, but the hook not going to land, but the Cyclone will. And Jack Burden is going to be at about 100 HP. Overkill coming through, but again, chain healing. And now Clownface will get traded back. It is a 1-for-1. They were able to take down Jack Burden, but that's still going to be the tank missing when the cavalry is arriving. Now, you definitely would have wanted your Tychus pushing in on this as well. It's just so much poke damage landing from Magdadio onto the Duke. But still, having one less member on the map defending is definitely going to help quite a bit with this push, as Living Bomb again on the Duke, starting to get so low. Now, between the self-healing and Saber Moon, they do have enough HP to just get right back to full, basically. Or at least what constitutes as full HP for a Zul'jin. But the push is still succeeding over in this bot lane. The wall has broken down here. The wall was broken over in the mid lane. Now, top lane push didn't go quite as well. They were able to defend it. But that's still going to be half HP, as they are looking towards Fading Cheshi. MDC did go in, but no follow-up available. Ancient Spear not going to be able to set up anything else. But that's still a very successful push from Magnitude Epicenter, because especially considering how early that was. The cavalry aren't that strong yet. They have their level 10s now. They have their heroics. Unfortunately, there's really nothing for them to fight for, and level 10 is going to get matched by Points Donation Squad soon. But it is a good start. They are slowly but surely getting their advantages. However, Points Donation Squad, they are going to be scaling. Chromie scales quite well in terms of damage. Same with Zul'jin. Currently at 13 stacks, by the way. And it looks like it is going to be kind of a little bit of everything. It's going to be a little bit of a hybrid build between the caster Zul'jin and the auto attack Zul'jin. We'll be able to still deal a lot of damage up front with that twin cleave, especially once the stacks are complete and they get that second rotation. But then the auto attacks are still able to deal so much damage to the front line, so much damage to whoever's really in range. With the Taz Dingo, a lot of safety is going to be there as well. And Last Rites is there, and now the Odin is coming through, but they have Saber Moon, they have the healer. And now they have the Phoenix over top. Saber Moon trying to run backwards, but there's just nowhere to go. Ancestor Healing will come out. And now the fight is going in favor of Points Donation Squad. Can they get anyone down, though? Now Crystal Aegis will come through onto Clownface. But they were able to take down the Odin, and they were able to prevent the push from happening. That is going to be 4 heroics for 3. Well, I guess 4 for 4. You can't really count the slowing stance as a heroic ability in terms of cooldown. That's Emski now in a pretty bad spot, but should be able to run away with the leap. They have the hook Cyclone not going to land as well, but they have the damage. Just needs a little bit more to Tamer Strike, actually saving Emski, and now they're able to trade back on MDC. And the Duke is here dealing damage to Bones. They have the stun. They have the Stormbolt going wide, unfortunately, so that will prevent the play from the follow-up. But it's still a 1-0 for Points Donation Squad. Just a slight miscalculation. I think that Detainment Strike, if it caused them to hit the wall, would have been the kill. But now Clanface getting jumped upon. 4 members strong here. Slowing Sands and the stun. And the Duke there to get an extra stack as well. And it's going to be another kill going over to Points Donation Squad. Now, the level lead is still slightly in favor of Magnitude Epicenter. I should say not level lead, but the experience lead. But that does open some stuff up for Points Donation Squad. It will definitely help close that gap. And they're able to get their pressure back onto the map. Now, Saber Moon is trying to solo push over on the spot side hard as a healer. As Bones is looking to walk forward, but Saber Moon will back away now. Now, the Duke and Emsky will take their own siege camp to match the one that's currently pushing in the mid lane. As MDC able to just get a free push on the top side, will get matched by Emsky. But again, the overall play currently favoring Magnitude Epicenter. They're the ones that are playing proactively. And that hook almost lands onto Saber Moon. Not going to be able to land, unfortunately, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And Bones has been taking quite a few shots and has definitely scored a few goals with them. But now MDC could be getting jumped upon. 2 members strong here. They have the Stormbolt leap. Gonna get used defensively as Bones. In a position for the hook. All gonna land onto Emsky. Was very close though. And that will be a pretty major cooldown used, but it wasn't a kill. Now Jack Burden gotta pop the Avatar. They have the Cyclone onto the back line. MDC is tanking the front. Doesn't have leap to get away, but with the Phoenix, will be able to buy enough space to just back away. As the hook not gonna land onto anyone. And now they're playing aggressively on the side of Points Donation Squad. Level 13 talents are up for both these two teams. No one has an advantage here. But MDC is shoving out the top lane. So there are more members down here for Points Donation Squad than there are for Magnitude Epicenter. But with the Odin, they should be able to actually defend onto this. The Duke could be walking a little bit too far forward. The Cyclone will land. And they have the Flame Strike as well onto the Duke. Just a little bit more poke coming out of Clownface and the Tychus. Is this called the Cyclone, by the way? It's the Gravity Lapse. I'm calling it Cyclone. But now with that, despite it being 4v5, at least for the start, Magdadio is getting jumped upon, though. Grizzly just is going to pop. And with the extra healing, now it's going to be Jack Burn to bad spot. And that will be the kill going over to Magnitude Epicenter. Now the Duke going to get hit into the wall. Taz coming through. Same with the Ancestor healing. And now they're going to be able to jump right back onto the Zul'jin. And it is going to be a 2-4-0 right now. And now they once again are able to retake at least the area and will be able to get the channel as well. So now with this, they should have more than enough power to just stand around, defend the rest of the camp, and get this next set of cavalry coming in. Both mid and bot fort are pretty low, so they should be able to get both of those, depending on how they're going to be pushing in with this. Now Bones going to be looking for Fading Cheshi. Stasis does get thrown, but the range was not there anyway. And with this push, they're actually pretty close to level 16 as well. They're going to get the camp here from MDC as the cavalry is spawning. Now, they will have a talent advantage during this push as well. Maybe not right at the start, but definitely at some point during it. If they try to force a fight, this could be a pretty solid opportunity. As Bones could be looking to fish here. It is a bit difficult to catch someone when they are currently mounted. Definitely adds quite a bit of speed. Definitely adds the ability to dodge. But right now, they're just sending all 5 members out to the top lane. They want to let these cavalry push on their own. They're sending all 5 members top still. And most of the defense on Points Donation Squad is over to the mid lane. Now, the top lane is the strongest for it. So then being able to clear this out fairly quickly, too, will give them a solid advantage. And now it looks like they want to continue pushing for it. They want to go straight to the wall. Now, the mid lane cavalry were still able to take down the fort. And it looks like the bot lane one will be able to as well. They're going to clear everything on the map. And now they're trading over to the top side as well. Dragon's Breath just being used to help clear everything away. But the top lane wall also going to be gone. And they will just back away there. Level 16's now hit by Points Donation Squad as they do manage this defense. But the boss is up here. And I'm wondering if that could be why Magnitude Epicenter did come back. Either that or it is to bait a fight, because it does seem like Points Donation Squad, they have the same mind. They think they're on the boss. Jack Burden coming in to check, and the Stormbolt will land. Ancient Spear, unfortunately, not going to be able to get the catch. Same with the Cyclone coming out of Magdadio. And now it will just be the end of that play for now. But magnitude Epicenter, all 3 forts gone, brings so much passive pressure. If they just stick to one lane, eventually they will have either a numbers advantage or just a flat out push coming out in one of the other lanes. But Bones looking for the play, looking for the hook, not going to land on Fading Cheshi. If only they made the hook just a little bit longer, would have been able to land quite a few more this time around, but still landed quite a few. MDC looking forward with the Ancient Spear. And just a little bit of trading back and forth as neither side really wants to do a full commit. Now, I think without a full team fight starting, it does benefit Magnitude Epicenter a bit more because they can just keep fishing with the hooks. As long as they don't miss, or if they miss, it's not a big deal to them. They just don't commit onto the fight. But if they do land one, it starts a fight on their terms in a way that's really difficult to defend for the side of Points Donation Squad. Now, the next prisoner camp is going to be spawning up on that top side as the siege camp is finally there to push in mid, but Clownface is here, has the grenade, not even going to use the overkill, and it looks like they're actually looking for this bottom box. That seems to be the call right now for Magnitude Epicenter. Now, Points Donation Squad, they are setting up for the objective, but with the boss getting started, doesn't seem like they really care about that. But they will be trading it for the top side. Sabermoon and the Duke gonna get started on that as well. And between the healer and DPS, they should have more than enough, especially with Jack Burden coming in for the help as well. So it will be boss for boss trade, and it will be the bot lane pushing in for Magnitude Epicenter and the top lane one pushing in for Points Donation Squad. Now, the bottom boss was finished first, but there is something to be said for this top lane boss having a fort to go through, because that's going to give them more value if they're able to take it down, if it's able to take down the fort. Now, if it gets defended here, it's not going to matter too much. In fact, they're able to approach it before it even gets near the wall. It will cause a little bit of time delay if you're able to force it to stomp when it's out of range. Unfortunately, just barely in range of the fort there. It does significantly lower its DPS, and it gives you a lot more time to chuck it down as the boss over in the bot lane finishes off half the wall, and 5 seconds on the count for Magnitude Epicenter. Now, it doesn't make a huge difference, but it does make a difference. It means they're going to have 5 less seconds of push later on. They're going to be able to play a bit further up as this boss is kind of let to free roam over in the bot lane, and I think is getting quite a bit more value than Points Donation Squad expected. Well, they did leave it to its own devices. This keep is starting to get really low. I know I should be watching what's going on, but no one's fighting. So I want to see if this keep stays alive, because right now there's quite a few minions coming in for Magnitude Epicenter, and it should go down here. Just a couple more hits. Come on, let's go. I want to get back to the action. And yeah, the keep will go down. So slight miscalculation from Points Donation Squad. I think they brought up their members just a little bit too early on. And now, once again, they're going to look for the fight. This could be a fight the Points Donation Squad want, as they're able to land the hook onto the Zeldin. Jack Burden is playing forward leap just to prevent any kind of peel. And they do have the Taz Dingo, but what else can they really do? The Ancestral Healing coming out in time. The Duke is alive, able to back away. As Emsky, now the one trying to play forward. Stormbolt lands on Clownface. Emsky still trying to deal damage to the backline. The Dwarf Toss and the Crystal Agents will prevent 1 kill, but the Duke dealing so much damage to the backline. MDC is gone. And Living Bomb is going back and forth, but that's still a 2-for-0 in favor of Points Donation Squad. Is Fading Cheshi with the stasis going to dodge the hook. That one was going to land for sure. But that's what I was saying. That fight was definitely one that Points Donation Squad wanted to take. Magnitude Epicenter was really close to that level 20 before that fight started. So by fighting before then, it does enable them to fight on an even talent here. And now both teams do hit level 20 at basically the exact same time. And this is definitely good for Points Donation Squad. They've no longer need to worry about that talent deficit. And now they're also going to get that first set of cavalry for their side. Now, all 3 forts are still up for Magnitude Epicenter. That top lane one is pretty low. And the cavalry does get stronger later and later into the game. Now, they will finish off the camp. And it looks like they're setting up for a push on that top side. And I'm wondering if they want to keep pushing beyond this fort. If they're going to try to do the same thing Magnitude Epicenter did. Just aim for the keep. Try to get as much damage to the wall, to the keep, as they can. Now it is just going to be Jack Burden defeating Cheshi, Sabermoon, and the Duke. We're trying to watch their flank at least for a little while. And now they will finish off the fort. But the main defense right now for Magnitude Epicenter is over in that mid lane. Now it's already at half HP and they have quite a few minions. So they will be able to deal with it pretty easily. As it seems Points Donation Squad want to play for this mid lane fort now as well. MDC is going to run to the top lane just to help clear that out. So we'll be 4 members strong here for Magnitude Epicenter. But it's not a very healthy cavalry. As the Duke once again will get hooked. And the Gorge coming in from Bones and able to gorge everyone. They're looking for multiple members. Able to drop the Duke. Will get hit by the Flame Strike. Now the Taz Ding Ancestral Healing will come through again with the double Ancestral Healing. We'll be back to full. But that is going to be quite a few of those heroics getting used for it. But now the mid fort does go down. The top fort does go down. And Points Donation Squad, they're looking for this bot fort as well. They're sending all their members here. Delta Sniper is going to get stunned. And Emsky trying to deal quite a bit of damage. And Delta Sniper starting to get low. But they do have the leap. They do have the stuns. Emsky starting to get low. Same with Sabermoon. Bones will get hit by the last rights. Will survive for that. But won't survive for the rest as Jack Burton will finish off the healer over in the backline. Delta Sniper will go down. And it's another 2-0 for Points Donation Squad. And this game has been so back and forth so far. These two teams are both trying to team fight so hard. And it's just been inches winning out. But now they're still playing forward. The Duke taking a little bit of damage to the backline. As Clownface just immediately skips past Jack Burton. But will be the death of Clownface for that move. Trying to trade a little bit too aggressively there. But it is a 3-0 now for Points Donation Squad. And with that, they'll definitely be able to steal away this siege camp. Now, what else can they get on the map? The bot lane boss has spawned if they want to go for that. They also have a wave pretty close by if they just want to go for the bot lane wall. They have options, and it looks like they are going to go for the boss play instead. And I think this is a pretty smart call because the boss is up in the top lane. And right now, Magnitude Epicenter can definitely not contest it. They cannot try and trade for the top lane. Now, what Points Donation Squad can do is the Storm League special of taking this bot lane boss and then immediately booking it to the top lane one. Mac Daddy on MDC, they are watching the top lane one. They do pull it, but they don't want to start on it. And I think that's the main play because someone will need to go back and deal with this boss. It has 40,000 HP. It deals 845 damage to these structures. So now and because of that, they know they can't contest this top boss. They're going to have to defend onto both as the entire team of Points Donation Squad is up here. And the bot lane one is getting traded right now for Magnitude Epicenter, or sorry, is getting defended by. But it's still going to deal some damage to the wall. Even if it doesn't end up being that much, it still pulls all 5 members, and this just free damage to the wall. This cannon tower is gone. The gate less than half HP. And now they're going to have to do the same thing in the top lane. Except this time there's going to be a Points Donation Squad backing it up. Now it is just 4 members for now as Emsky did finish off the siege camp over in on their side, on the right side of the map. And now the boss is walking forward and will be on the point very shortly. Now, it doesn't seem like Points Donation Squad want to push with it. They are going to be going for the next set of cavalry. But either way, the boss is going to finish off this wall for sure. Has the extra stomp, and the stomp deals so much damage to the structures as well. We'll finish off the last bit of the cannon tower. And also for good measure, we'll get a little bit of poke damage onto this keep. Now, we'll get cleared away here between the keep and the siege minions. But that's still another structure going down, and just good value coming out of Points Donation Squad. If they are able to hold on to this camp, there's still 25 seconds as the hook. Almost onto Fading Cheshu once again. And Sabermoon is going to get caught in the gravity lapse, is going to get hit by the living bomb. And Jack Burton already at half HP looking for Bones. Phoenix is coming through as well. And Jack Burton forced to back away. Ancestral Healing will be able to heal Jack Burton back up to full, especially with the double one. And now they need to back away. Magnitude Epicenter, now they're the ones that are looking to take this point, that are looking to get this camp going. Now Bones looking for the hook, almost lands on the Sabermoon. And does have the Gorge onto 1 member. Able to get it onto more. Leap over the backline. Lands on it 2. They're able to take down Emsky. They're able to take down Fading Cheshu. And the Duke and Sabermoon forced to just back away. And that's a massive timing for a 2-0. Magnitude Epicenter, they needed that play. And they got it. Now they're going to be able to start taking back the lead. I mean, I say that they're still up a keep, but it's definitely been go, go, go for the side of Points Donation Squad up until that play. Now, the resurrection did come through. for Emski. So they do have 4 members. In theory, they could try to fight this. They could try to defend this. And they also have minions pushing it on the top side. But this team fight definitely looking likely to break out. But right now, they're in a bad spot. Points Donation Squad is going to be... does need to try and fight and to defend this. I think they were trying to trade it and try to win on timer. But right now, the timer definitely favoring Magnitude Epicenter. It's Emski walking forward. And with the totem will slow them down to prevent any kind of defense. But that's still going to be the Cavalry won over in the end by Magnitude Epicenter. And they already have a pretty solid wave in the bot lane. They have a wave building up in the mid lane. It will definitely get built up now that they're there to clear it out. And their top lane keep did get quite low, but did not get finished off by the massive wave of minions that was grouping there. Now, this is where the push is really going to come through, because if you're able to take down these last 2 keeps, the core becomes really easy to kill. The hook does land on a Jack Burner. They weren't expecting that. The Gorge is there, though. Do they have the setup? Do they have the extra lockdown? Jack Burner is going to get some of the gravity laps. Does have the extra jump, but with the leap, they have more than enough CC. And that's a massive pickoff to get right before the push. Now, during that, they were able to clear out the mid lane cavalry, so it will be harder to push onto the keep. But harder doesn't mean impossible, as Bones and MDC and everyone on this side of Magnitude Epicenter just grouping up will finish off this mid lane keep. The bot lane cavalry will get finished off here as well. So will be more difficult for them if they want to push for the core. But they could look for the top lane keep instead. They have Leap in 28 seconds. They have Gorge in 28 seconds. Those are going to be their next big team fight cooldowns coming off cooldown. But now the hook is going to land onto Emski. Now Emski is in a bad spot. Does get hit by the Tainment Strike and will get finished off. And that might be it. Only 3 members. No tank, no healer. Everyone is just DPSing onto the core. But now Sabermoon trying to get a little bit of extra DPS, a little bit of more control, Ancestral Healing. Just trying to tank on the front line. Lower the damage, but MDC leaps onto the core. And with a couple of seismic shoves, will be able to get the kill. And game number 1 goes to Magnitude Epicenter. And I think that was an incredibly back and forth game. Magnitude Epicenter had the early game. Points Donation Squad brought it back in the mid game, but one good team fight was all that was needed for Magnitude Epicenter. They were able to get that final set of cavalry that they needed, and they were able to make that push count, and they were able to take game 1. Now with that, we are going to go to a short break, but when we come back, we still have at least one more game in this series. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back very soon.
I'm hypnotized.
All right, and we are back for game number 2. Sorry for the delay. Apparently there were some login issues, as we do see a substitution coming out for Points Donation Squad. The Duke is not going to be playing in this game number 2, will be replaced by Robot Wizard. Now, let's see how much of a difference that will make to their draft and to this game number 2. And now Zagara is still going to be the first band coming out of Magnitude Epicenter. And the map is Towers of Doom, by the way, so this does change quite a bit. I do think out of every single map in Heroes of the Storm, Towers of the Doom probably has the most option and opportunity for creative macro play. I've seen some 2 double offlaners with triple core in the bot lane. I've seen them swapping entirely, just trying to push down the bell towers early. I think there's a lot you can do macro-wise, despite it being a relatively small map. And I'm looking forward to seeing what both of these two teams do decide to bring out. Now, Garrosh still going to be the first ban from Points Donation Squad, and Nubrak also going to get banned away by Magnitude Epicenter. And the final ban will be coming out of Points Donation Squad here. And I'm wondering what they are going to remove. They are second pick here once again. It does look like they decided on this map. So that's pretty interesting because Magnitude Epicenter definitely... Oh yeah, I should do the predictions, by the way. Almost forgot. There we go. We got that going, man. Once again, it is going to be the tasks that are getting banned away. And now the first pick is available now for Magnitude Epicenter. And as I was saying before, I remember to do the prediction. Magnitude Epicenter do prioritize that first pick, but Points Donation Squad do seem to prioritize the map pick. So I'm wondering if these two teams are both kind of playing the way they like to. But right now, Chromie is going to get locked in for Magnitude Epicenter. Fading Cheshi not going to be able to play it this time around. Now, obviously, super powerful over on this map. Super powerful on any map, really. Chromie's just a good hero overall. But on this one specifically, able to push down the bell towers pretty easily and in good safety as well. I think having both those elements is good. Can team fight well. Slowing Sands really provides a ton of extra pressure. Because this map is really tall, but it's not that wide. And the fights around the bell towers are usually in pretty skinny choke points. So with those Slowing Sands, it will be able to clear away an even bigger area for Magnitude Epicenter. But now Dahaka going to get locked in by Emsky and Anduin locked in by Saber Moon. Now Dahaka was also banned away in the second phase of that game number 1. Will get locked in here by Emsky, and it's a super powerful double soaker, but specifically for double soaking did get nerfed a bit. It's going to be quite a bit harder to play. Or not harder to play, but it's played the same way. It's just not going to be able to outpush quite as heavily as the Dahaka used to. And I think this does open up a bit more opportunity for the Leoric, which was locked in by MDC alongside the Stitches by Bones. It allows the Leoric to have a bit more agency in this matchup. I can punish harder if Dahaka leaves with a Brush Stalker before it was a good opportunity for the team fight. and also allows the Leoric to kind of match the push or kind of match the rotation quicker as well. Wraithwalk will be able to bring them around very quickly. But now Points Donation Squad gonna ban away the Oriole, and Magnitude Epicenter gonna ban away the Medivh, trying to get rid of that extra engage option, extra protection. And with the teleport is also a very good way of kind of protecting whoever does get hooked by Bones. As Azmodan locked in for Fading Cheshi and Murden locked in for Jack Burton. Now, I was talking about the Chromie being really good at pushing. Azmodan's even better, especially depending on which heroic ability gets taken. Could absolutely shred through these bell towers. And I've seen a couple of strategies where the idea is to never fight on the side of the Azmodan. The idea is to just press everything down and knock down every structure faster than the other team can respond. We'll see if that's what they're playing for this time, as Magnitude Epicenter get their last two picks, the Greymane for Clownface and the Uther for Mac Daddy-O. And the final pick is going to be the Hanzo for Robot Wizard. Now, it is also important to note that Delta Sniper and Mac Daddy-O swapped roles. I do think usually it is Mac Daddy-O playing heal, with some exceptions. But Delta Sniper going to be back on the Mage, back on the Chromie. But now with that, we have our draft. Going to be a pretty interesting game here. And we'll see if Magnitude Epicenter can get the domination or if Points Donation Squad can bring it back. All right, and we're back in game 2 between Magnitude Epicenter and Points Donation Squad. Now we are loading into Towers of Doom here. Big, tall map, not super wide, especially not in the early game, because it really is just the width of a regular lane. There's a little bit of extra space in the jungles, but other than the bot lane, there's really not too much to do there until the altars do spawn. Now, looking over at that setup, I was hoping it would be a Worgen build, but honestly, I will say for this specific map, it really doesn't make sense. I think the Worgen build is very difficult to play. You kind of do want a lot of space to be able to jump, hop, and skip around. And you also kind of want targets you can jump on. But both Hanzo and Azmodan, they have such range that I don't think this Greymane would ever be able to reach. But now both teams are grouping up in this mid lane. Sonic Arrow from Robot Wizard just to help stack up. And it will be the Stormbow talent coming out from Robot Wizard as the Drain Hope onto Robot Wizard, forced to jump over the wall. But in the meanwhile, Emsky is going to get slowed down. And Robot Wizard will finally jump over the wall, trying to trade a little bit with MDC. But that will always be a good trade in favor as the hook almost going to land on Jack Burton, but able to sidestep it in the last minute. Now, over in this bot lane, Magnitude Epicenter, they do have the first move, but they aren't really keeping anyone behind to try and prevent them from walking forward. But could look for the extra hook. Robot Wizard almost walked into it as the Worgen is going to come out. They have the Hand of Justice as well. And now Jack Burton is the one that's taking the ire of Magnitude Epicenter, but not enough damage to get the kill as both Jack Burton and Robot Wizard starting at low. Saber Moon trying to keep everyone healthy. Has the extra healing wall come out. And forced to tap as well just because the poor Anduin was running out of mana. And now the Sapper Camp is going to get started by Magnitude Epicenter. And now it is going to be Gluttony. So it will be the extra cooldown once those 200 stacks are reached. And Fading Cheshi will slowly but surely be stacking. And I say slowly, but 38 stacks at a minute and a half is quite a bit. That's a lot of bonus damage. And now they do have the Hand of Justice and the Time Trap landing. As the hook, once again, aiming towards Robot Wizard, but not able to land it. The Sapper Camp will reach it and will be able to get a lot of value over onto this wall. It is just going to be the bottom cannon tower still left alive. Jack Burton looking for the Storm Bolt. Will be able to land it onto Clownface. As Mac Daddy-O is a little bit low, will have to sit a little bit further back and actually will just tap. As the play continues. Jack Burton looking for Clownface. Level 4 talents right now for Magnitude Epicenter. Those they could look for the fight as the hook will pull one of the little minions coming out of Fading Cheshi. Robot Wizard is in a pretty bad spot though. If they're able to keep pressing forward, Doesn't have the jump over the wall, but will be able to just back away safely in time, as the Dragon's Breath once again is going to be used for that extra push. Now, it isn't going to be the Dragon's Breath build this time around. It's just it looks like it's going to be the trap build coming out of Delta Sniper, as the hook will land on a fading Cheshi, but Leap of Faith is there from Saber Moon. But now Jack Burton is in a bad spot, but with the Dwarf Toss, will be able to jump away in. Already 110 stacks of Gluttony and Annihilation for fading Cheshi. This is where you want to be as the Asmodan. That's a ridiculous amount of damage to be dealing. And once they hit that 200, they will be throwing those out there so much more often. And now Piercing Light is going to be trying to get a little bit of stacks as well, as MDC and Emski going to be trading the altars over on the top side. But this one on the bot side, that's where the competition is going to be coming through. Jack Burton looking to play aggressively. Robo Wizard gets a little bit of poke onto Mac Daddio. And they do have Emski down here as well. MDC will be able to reach, though. Drain Hope will prevent fading Cheshi from taking that extra point. Now both sides are just kind of trading over on the bot side, over the mid side as well. Two fights happening on two fronts, as Robot Wizard and Jack Burton take on Bones. But Clownface is able to push everyone else back from this top side. Clownface jumping in on Robot Wizard, able to jump over the wall. The drag will push back Bones. They have the Chastise as well on a MDC, but fading Cheshi running backwards from Clownface, and it does seem like a Magnitude Epicenter will be able to take control of this area. They're starting to get pretty close to level 7, but again, just the Globe of Annihilation is coming through from the top and will be able to take down MDC. So that will be a kill going over to Points Donation Squad. And now that it's 4v5, they could try and take this altar for themselves. But the hook lands on a fading Cheshi, and it's immediately going to be an answer of 1-0. MDC is about to respawn as well. Saber Moon going to get canceled by that Dragon's Breath. Level 7 talents now coming out of Magnitude Epicenter. They're looking towards Jack Burton, looking for that extra little bit of damage. Not going to be able to find it quite yet. Saber Moon will be able to save them, as Robot Wizard also in a bad spot. The hook will land. Hand of Justice as well, and it's going to be another kill to Magnitude Epicenter. 2-1 trade overall, and they're able to take the altar, and they're going to have that 4 health lead. Massive team fight for Magnitude Epicenter, but again, these Globes of Annihilation, 148 stacks on Gluttony at 4.5 minutes. This Asmodan, I keep wanting to say slowly but surely, but it's powerful. This Asmodan's already dealing so much damage towards everyone, and will continue stacking it up. Now the next Zapper camp has already spawned. Magnitude Epicenter going to be clearing that away. Robot Wizard starts it for Points Donation Squad as well. So both sides should be able to secure their own camps. It is level 8 to 7 right now, so they do have Slowing Sands already unlocked for Delta Sniper as the hook. So close to Robot Wizard. I'm not sure they had vision. I think that was just a blind hook. But now they have the stun onto Jack Burton. Stormbolt as well onto Delta Sniper. Another Global Annihilation just for the extra little poke. And 154 stacks. Now this time it does seem like Points Donation Squad might be able to defend into the Sapper camps. So at the very least, one of them will go down. But theirs are also already lost. Jack Burton jumps away just in time. But 2 of the Sappers are still going to be able to land onto the bell tower. And that's going to be quite a bit of bonus damage to it. As again, the trading just slowly but surely benefiting Magnitude Epicenter. Bones starting to get a little bit low. But same with Jack Burton. Jack Burton actually almost goes down. Does have the trade to heal back up. But will still be a little while before it will come into too much play. Now they do have the healing well ready up, so Jack Burton can heal back to full. Saber Moon is starting to be a little bit low on mana, though. That could be a potential issue, as they are bringing their team over to that mid lane, trying to get the push so that they can just leave Emski on the top side, because Emski can just immediately go bot lane right after. And pretty good trading onto MDC as well, as MDC trying to trade back onto Robot Wizard. But Robot Wizard is able to win that. But now the heroics are available. Level 10 is there for Magnitude Epicenter. They have the Cursed Bullet, they have the Gorge, and they have the extra 4 points coming out from Mac Daddio, as they're able to finish off the altar as well. Jack Burton taking so many Sandblasts, and with the Leap of Faith, will be able to dodge out the hook as well. And now with that, level 10 is going to get reached by Points Donation Squad, and the Gluttony is now fully stacked. They will have those shorter cooldowns. Jack Burton looking for the play. They have the Brush Stalker. Dragon Arrow will land, and they're on to fading onto Delta Sniper, but they have the Gorge as well. The D-Shield just in time, but Jack Burton pops the Avatar, will survive for a little bit, but immediately gets locked down afterwards. Now Saber Moon is caught in the N2, will be able to back away. Light Bomb as well. Not going to buy any time at all as MDC will be able to finish off Saber Moon. Now Emsky and Robot Wizard, they're a bit off to the side. They do have the drag, but it is going to be the drag onto Bones. Robot Wizard jumps over the wall, but Emsky cannot. But Fading Cheshi will get caught as well. Time Trap is there. Clownface did get pretty low, and actually Bones is starting to get quite low as well. Hand of Justice once again, just Delta Sniper trying to snipe onto Emsky, but it'll still be a 2-0 once again in favor of Magnitude Epicenter. And they're just slowly but surely winning these fights. This Stitches is landing the hooks right when it counts. And especially with the time traps, it gives a very easy hook, very easy Gorge combo ready. But now, it is going to be the two Sapper Camps once again getting traded back and forth between these two teams. But the inside track, Magnitude Epicenter, they are the ones currently on it. We're looking for a play in rotation, but Points Donation Squad, they rotate a bit safer up as there's a bit of trading happening over the top side, but I don't even know why I'm bothering. It is just going to be the off lane in Towers of Doom. There's usually not too much going on there. As the hook will go wide. Jack Burton gets hit by the Cursed Bullet. Will get taken down a little bit low. But this time around, Points Donation Squad, they were able to clear out the Sapper Camp. It isn't going to reach, and it's going to be 4 damage done to each side as Emsky and MDC just kind of traded back and forth. But now Light Bomb from Jack Burton only going to land onto Bones, but they have the Time Trap as well. The Cleanse is there ahead of time as well. Dragon Arrow does that onto the backside. They have the Isolation onto Mac Daddio. Just needs a little bit more damage, but the D-Shield is there, and Bones lands the hook onto the healer. Sailor Moon is in the back line. Saber Moon will get finished off as Jack Burton is getting chased by MDC and Clownface in Working Form, able to bounce. Emsky's stuck in the Entomb, and it's just a 3-0 for Magnitude Epicenter. They also had level 13 during that fight. Robot Wizard is on the wrong side of the map. Do they see them? And they are pinging onto it, but MDC not going to be able to get the Drain Hope in time. Robot Wizard able to back away safely, but it's still looking pretty bad right now for Points Donation Squad. Magnitude Epicenter just winning out on every single team fight so far. A Delta Sniper is getting a little bit low, but able to fancy feet their way past the Globes of Annihilation, past the Stormbow, and also past the Scatter Shot. Now it is already 4 stacks, so it does have the extra damage already. Needs one more stack, one more target hit by the Stormbow to be able to get that extra range. Now, I don't think the extra range matters too much with the way they've been fighting, as Jack Burton gets hit by the hook, once again with the Gorge, and once again gets stuck behind the wall. Now, Dragonair will land on a 3, but Jack Burton, 20 HP, going to get healed just in time. And now they're all just trying to back away. Bones will have another hook soon, and will hook onto, what are these things even called? Demon Warrior. That is the most anime name I've ever heard, but you know what? It is from Diablo, I believe. So, definitely makes sense to have. There's Clownface will be able to get the altar for damage. Once again, hitting the core of Points Donation Squad. It's 32-20. And Points Donation Squad, they will need to start trying to contest more onto these. It is difficult. They're quite a bit behind now in terms of levels, almost 2 full levels down. As the side of Magnitude Epicenter, they want to keep forcing onto these plays. Jack Burton pops the Avatar, already hit by the Cursed Bullet, but now Delta Sniper could be in a bad spot. Light Bomb will be blocked by the Stasis. Saber Moon gets hooked once again. Time Trap onto Emsky. Emsky is now on top of the healer, has the drag, and with the Globe of Annihilation, not going to be able to get the kill because of D-Shield. And they have more than enough damage to finish it off. Bones already landed the hook on a Fading Cheshi, as Fading Cheshi will get traded back. Couple more hits. Mac Daddio able to dodge away though, and the Stormbolt not going to land. Robot Wizard will get finished off, and it's just Jack Burton alive. 4-0 in favor of Magnitude Epicenter. 2.5 level lead. They have the Sapper Camp, and they might not even need it for this bell tower. They will be able to finish it off before the Sapper Camp even lands. And this is just going from bad to worse for Points Donation Squad. But Magnitude Epicenter, huge lead right now. They're putting on an absolute clinic in this game number 2. You would have not guessed how close game 1 was. As 3 sappers do land onto the core, they're able to steal away the camp, and it is basically 3 full levels now in the lead for Magnitude Epicenter. They still don't have their level 16 talent, and Delta Sniper's about to reach that level 18 for the Chromie. And now the hook not going to land once again. Robot Wizard able to sidestep Jack Burden, looking onto Delta Sniper, but again with the stasis just able to be so safe. And they have the Gorge. Jack Burden going to be in a bad spot. Will land, will get saved by the leap of faith, but Clownface able to land the hook once again. But so much different jumps available for them. But now it is going to be one of the altars going the way of Magnitude Epicenter, and Emsky trying to sneak this one away in the back. Will get hit as well. And throws out the drag, but not even going to matter. It's going to be another 5 health going towards the core. 29-7 now. They're trying to DPS a little bit back onto the bell tower while Magnitude Epicenter were trying to deal with Emsky. Or I should say we're dealing with Emsky as another hook very close to landing on a Robot Wizard. And this needs to... They need to play aggressively right now, Points Donation Squad. It's going to be difficult. It's not going to be clean. But that's their only way back. They need to try and force a play, force a fight, just try and get something, add any volatility. But now Jack Burton, they are looking for MDC, and I think this is the kind of play they need to look for. But it's so difficult onto a Leoric. It is one of the safest heroes in the game. I think the only ones that I can think of that could maybe be safer is Genji in the right situations, and Dahaka. That's it. Oh, and of course, our good old friend Samuro, always able to dodge away from most bad situations. But the Sapper Camp has been finished by Magnitude Epicenter. And if they're able to get another 3 down from their Sapper Camp, all they need is the boss or 1 altar to win. And it's going to be a double altar spawn in the bot side. So either way, Points Donation Squad, they're on a timer. They do have their level 16 talents. This could be the go time. They have the stun on a Jack Burton. Jack Burton does get hit by the Curse Bullet. Bones not going to get hit by the Chastise. Avatar has come through. They do have the extra stun over the backline, but it's not going to land. The Dragonair will go slightly wide. MDC looking for the aggressive play. Entomb not going to land onto anyone. But that will be another 3 damage going the way of Magnitude Epicenter. They were able to successfully push in their Sapper Camp. And Points Donation Squad, they have to fight this. They can't give up any of these. Now it is level 19 to level 16. They do have Piercing Sands, but other than that, it is an even talent here. Now Clownface could be in a bad spot. The fight is coming through. D-Shield is coming through as well, and they're not able to interrupt it. And that will be game going over as Magnitude Epicenter, they get the domination. All right, now I'm going to be honest with y'all. I didn't even know that you could do that with D-Shield. I definitely gave them that pretty easy last little bit for their victory, but it was very much earned by Magnitude Epicenter. They were in control of the game, start, middle, and finish. They are able to clean it out, and I gotta say, Bones landing so many hooks on this Stitch has just provided so much value for the team. Just an absolute crazy game. Now, I'm gonna see if I can get an interview going. So give me one moment as I do get that set up. Ta-da-ta. All right, let's get this. Hello, hello.
What's happening?
Not much. How are you today?
Doing better. Doing better. Domination always feels good.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I am joined here by MDC, the captain of Magnitude Epicenter. And you said it feels good, but just how good does it feel to get that 2-0?
Well, we lost. I want to say, I got to look, but I think we dropped at least our last 2 matches in a row. So getting back on the wagon was good. I think there's a team morale boost when that happens and kind of gets us all kind of re-energized. So it was important for us to come out and hit them with our A game tonight. So it was a good win.
Yeah, no, this was a team that, at least on the standings, was neck and neck with yours. Do you feel that this specific team is one that you wanted to beat in order to get that mental momentum?
I mean, I say this in all honesty. every match we play, we want to beat them. So I don't look at these guys as any different as the first place or last place. We're here to win every game, and we're going to give it everything we have, no matter what. So certainly, given the standings, it's always a nice little boost, but that wasn't our motivator.
All right. Now tell me a little bit about Bones' Stitches play today. I mean, obviously, not too much to say about your play, especially in that game too. You were put on offlane duty on Towers of Doom, but this Stitches, why do you think it wasn't banned? Because it looked really strong to me.
Well, Bones plays a few different tanks. You'll see Garrosh banned quite a bit because he's like God tier Garrosh, so it always gets banned. But he's got 3 or 4 in their arsenal. You can only ban so much. You know what I mean? Because especially on Alterac, if you're going to ban Garrosh, Anoob's a really strong tank, so you're going to have, someone's going to have to get rid of that. And then there's, so much, more in the kit. It's, just pick your poison, I suppose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Plus, I think when he plays Stitches, he's got map hacks or something, because some of those hooks are fucking insane. Sorry about the language. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I don't have a sponsor right now, so you're safe. But it is pretty interesting to watch the drafts your team does. I mean, I did see between games 1 and 2, Delta Sniper and Mac Daddio kind of swapped roles. I do know Delta Sniper is typically the mage player, but was on the Oriole for game 1, and it definitely seemed to work out.
He plays a lot of Oriole. So does Mac, though. I think it's just a in the moment type thing, because if there's a mage open that Mac wants to play, he's just as good. So it makes sense when we take a meta hero, which Ariel is. We kind of look at what's the best case scenario, and it's about. I mean, there's no more to it. Mac will play Oriole too. I think it's just in the moment Delta drafts and said I'm playing Oriole, and that's what we did. There you have it.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you think that gives you that extra draft advantage? Because I don't know if you prepare for certain players playing something, but having the opportunity to swap these heroes around, do you think that makes a big difference to the enemies?
I doubt it. I mean, when we play people, if they swap, they swap. I mean, the characters are the characters. You know what I mean? Like, certainly there's some people who main certain characters. We want to keep them off them, or if we see them on them, then that's one thing. But it's usually not that big of a deal, to be honest.
All right. And then I got 2 final questions for you. One, is there anything you'd like to say to the Magnitude team that is going to be playing right after this one?
Yeah, I mean, just keep it up. I mean, we're all a family under Magnitude, so we'll be watching and cheering on. So, it'll be great to celebrate with 2 victories tonight, hopefully. And hopefully they take home the domination just like we did. Make it a fun week.
All right, and then my other final question. I'm sure you've heard this one before, but any shout-outs you'd like to give, and is there anything you'd like to say to your fans out there?
I'm just going to give the shout-out. I mean, I guess it's the MVP shout-out, but I think after game 1, it was pretty evident, we're going to give it to Bones. Like, the Stitches tonight was on point. Doesn't mean anybody else played bad, but it really, especially game 1, that hook in the bush versus Murden really was the turning point to win that game, because that was pretty tight, before that. So that was big. And it's common anytime you interview me, you hear me say the same. I really give a lot of credit to Fig. He's our sub, and every time we've had somebody out, he's never missed a practice. Mac is notoriously late and showed up 5 minutes before, and Fig was on standby. So sweet. That was great. There's a little poke at Mac. That's okay. But Mac has some hardware issues sometimes with his gaming laptop that overheats, but that's okay. He came through clutch tonight, so it doesn't matter. But that's about it. And just a big thanks to you. We like the casting. It's always fun because then our significant others and family and stuff get to watch us and hear a good cast. So it's really cool when you do it. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah, always my pleasure. I love casting. It's something I'm going to continue doing for a very long time, I suspect. And on your first point, Bones, I think also is the most valuable player, but that doesn't mean the rest of the players were not valuable.
Yep, we're on it. So appreciate the time and appreciate the cast.
Yeah, and I appreciate coming for the interview, and congrats once again on your 2-0.
Yep, thank you. Talk to you.
And with that, we are done for now. But we will have another cast starting shortly. It's starting in 20 minutes, so I think I will just leave this channel running for a little bit. Not going to bother restarting my stream. I think that's a pain. So I will be going on a short break, but I will be back for another match in Division B West between a Magnitude... sorry, one second. I actually turned off the counter part. But between Magnitude Aftershock and Bunker Funtime should be another good banger match, so be sure not to miss it. And Grizzly64, thank you so much for your Prime subscription. Sorry if it seemed like I was ignoring you, but whenever I'm either in-game or in an interview, I always make sure the players get their full attention. So just know it was nothing personal, and I do appreciate every single bit of support all of you throw out my way. Now with that, gonna go to a break, a long break, and I'll be back in about 20 minutes. So hope to see you there.